Okay, guys, I think we should be back. I think we should be back here on both channels, hoping on both channels. Guys, sorry for that technical problem, but it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes. Seems like we're having some problem with the internet and not only the internet, but the sound also. The sound seemed to be a bit buggy. If you can hear me properly, guys, could you put something in the chat for me, please? Could you put something in the chat so I can know if things are going okay? I just saw something from Sebastian Berrio. If you wouldn't mind putting something back in the chat, let me know where you're listening from. And let me see if we can resume this. Guys, welcome to Rock the Mic. I'm your host, Garfield Waller, having a bit of some technical difficulties, but let's get back to our topic. What I wanted to bring up, guys, was this thing about crime in Jamaica. Can this be sustained? Can the level of crime be sustained in Jamaica? And who do we blame? Who do we blame? Who is to be blamed? Guys, is it the government? Is it the government? Would you blame the churches? Would you blame parents? Would you blame the security forces? Where do we lay this blame? At whose feet? Because right now, our little island is bleeding. The island is bleeding. Guys, if you can hear me okay, could you put something in the chat to let me know if this is coming through okay on your end? I am flying blind at the moment. I have no idea. So could you let me know what's coming through on your end, guys? Could you let me know what's coming through on your end, please? Wherever you're listening from or watching from, could you put something in the chat, please? Let me have some idea of what's going on. And like I'm saying, we are discussing the level of crime in Jamaica. Who do we blame for this? When lives are arbitrarily taken, people's doors are being kicked off, people are being shot in broad daylight. Saw a video the other day of a gas station somewhere, I think it's Montego Bay, in broad daylight. A gunman comes out and fills a car with bullets. Why? Why have we as a people become too, how should I say, too blasé to all this murders, when we can have women and children being arbitrarily shot, kidnapped? What can we do about this, guys? Is the punishment, is the punishment that's being meted out to these criminals, is it sufficient? Is it a deterrent to any of these guys? Are they afraid of the consequences? I have to come across a video the other day of a scene inside Spanish Town prison. A scene inside Spanish Town prison, and it looked like a club to me. that's no that's no prison, man. That seemed like a club. Anybody listening, if you're listening, guys, could you put something in the chat so I can have an idea if you're on, if I'm reaching anybody? Could you put something in the chat, please? I want to see if anybody is being reached out there, or am I just flying blind? We're looking at crime in Jamaica. Welcome to Rock the Mic. Had some technical difficulties at the start, so I had to switch to another platform, guys, and I'm hoping it's coming through. But unless you give me some idea on your end, I'll have no idea what to tweak on my end. We also want to discuss this thing about Barbados. Barbados cutting the umbilical cord from England, getting rid of the Queen, and becoming a republic. They're now going to chart their own course. And I'd like to know, why is it that we, Jamaica, as one of the bigger islands, why can't we do this too? Is this not something we aspire to be on our own, to chart our own course? Every election, every election, this idea of a republic is banded out there. It's thrown out there as if to catch the people. Okay, and I see, who is this? Gray, I doing Gray? Yes. Okay, and Gray, would you mind saying where you're listening from? Would you mind saying where you're listening from? And don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to throw a comment in there. Don't be afraid to throw a comment there. Love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think. What do you think? Yes, Mr. Gray. Say where you're listening from, and why not make a comment? Yes, every election they trot this out there. Oh, we're gonna become a republic. We're gonna become a republic. And as soon as the election is over, whichever party wins, just pulls it back. Okay, Gray, you're listening from Brooklyn, man. Nice to have you on, man. But can you say what do you think about the level of crime in our homeland? Is it something you can live with? Is it something that bothers you or it doesn't? Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And if you want to, hey, here's a phone number. Call me, put you right here with me, and we can talk online. We can talk. But seriously, guys, every election this comes up. Since I was a teenager, I've been hearing this from, let's go back as far as Michael Manley. He really wanted to do it. I remember that statement he made when he said, when he puts his hand on the Bible and pledges allegiance to the Queen, he doesn't mean it. He could never mean it. And I thought, yes, at that time we were gonna cut ties with the Queen. Okay, so Wayne is saying, hey, the crime is crazy. You can't deal with it. Do you feel safe going home, Wayne? Do you feel safe going home for a visit? And if you go home for a visit, where are you most likely to stay? Are you most likely to stay at a family home, a hotel, or Airbnb? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Anybody else out there would like to make a comment? Wayne from Brooklyn is saying, yes, and I know Wayne, great friend of mine. I know Wayne is saying, hey, you can't deal with this. And I'm sure a lot of Jamaicans feel that way, but a lot of them are afraid to say it because they may get the blowback that, oh, because you may have left Jamaica, now you're saying bad things about it. No, but we got to face the truth. There are many Jamaicans overseas who that's what they worry about. Not so much the economy, but the level of crime. The level of crime. But guys, like I said, I threw out a few things that may have caused this, like just society, low morals, lack of Christian values, failure of the security forces, failure of the government, or is it just a socioeconomic thing? Is it just that some guys, especially, they don't have the wherewithal, they don't have the resources, and this is the only way they can get it by picking up a gun, robbing somebody. But the robbing, listen, robbing, yeah, they need to wait, yeah, but killing. If you rob a man, don't you leave him alive? Because maybe you can maybe come back next week, next month, and rob him again. But to shoot him, to kill him, to kick off a family's door and go in to murder somebody for what? And I'd like also to discuss this thing amongst us Jamaicans. You hear it even among kids. They sing about informers, informer for dead. Why do we have that? Why do we think like that? I believe if more citizens were conscious of what's going on around and were willing to point out these wrongdoers, because trust me, they know them, we know them, but everybody's keeping their mouth shut. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. It's none of your business. It's none of your business until it gets to you. Until the crime gets to you, then you say it's none of your business. But guys, anybody else out there, is there anything you want to say? So far, we have Dwayne from Facebook. I know there are others on. That first connection I had, we had to break that, and this is a new stream. If you are on Facebook, you'll see it pop up. If you are on YouTube, it will also come up. So, guys, I'd like somebody from YouTube. I'd like somebody from YouTube. I purposely pushed this back an hour because I didn't want to interfere with anybody's sports viewing. I didn't want to interfere with you watching the NCAA football or NBA or anything. So I pushed this back some more. Maybe I was wrong to do it, but if you're there, guys, Drop something in the text. Drop a comment to let me know what you think. Because I know this has popped up on a lot of people's Facebook page. And if you're seeing this, I'd love to hear your comment. I'd love to hear your comment. Anybody else? I know New York is filled with Jamaicans. So is Atlanta. So is Miami. Chances are several of you are seeing this. And if you're seeing this, guys, even if you're not interested, hey, why not share it with a friend? Call a friend, tell them about it. I'd love to hear what we think about that level of crime. Vangela Hayes. Hi, Vanje. Sorry you just had a chance to come on. It's a good thing because if you had been here earlier, it was a mess. It was a mess. Everything was going wrong. The YouTube feed wouldn't go through. The Facebook feed, we had audio problems. So Vanji, if you're hearing me okay, could you let me know, please? Just put something, okay? Yes, Vanji, nice seeing you. Let me know if you're hearing me okay, Vanji, if the audio is coming through okay on you. Okay, good. Thank you. So, Vanji, I'm discussing the level of crime in Jamaica. I think it's out of control. What do you think is the cause? What do you think is the reason for this wanton lawlessness? Okay, she's hearing loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you, Vanji. What do you think is this reason for this wanton lawlessness and wanton disrespect of human life? And honestly, people may say I shouldn't talk about this, but I don't care. We have to. Trust me, guys, I'm not political. I'm not a political person. But to me, I personally don't think that governments, not just this one, I personally don't think that governments have the stomach to do what is necessary. I don't think they have the stomach to do it because I believe they know that if they really go in hard after crime, there's some tidbits, some secrets that will come out. Will come out. Skeletons will be pulled out of some closets because somehow I believe a lot of government officials are complicit in this whole thing. They are complicit in this thing. So, Vanji, if you would mind telling me, what do you think about the level of crime in Jamaica? First, what's the cause of it? What do you think causes it? And what do you think can be done? What do you think can be done? And guys, for those who don't know, Vanji runs a radio station, Optima Gold Radio, and she's on every Thursday at 5 p.m. Her program is called Perspective, an intricate mix of talk radio and wicked music. Yes, Vanji saying there's so many reasons. I think we have moved so far away from being accountable to a higher being that we no longer have, have much morality. Yeah, I really think so too, Vanji. And to think when it comes to churches, we have more churches than any other country per square mile. We are a country of churches. When did we lose our way? When did we lose our way? And do you think are we going to turn a corner for the better or do you think it's going to get worse? If there's anybody out there who cares to make a comment, just put something in the chat. I promise you I won't. I'll try not to pin you down with any how should I say it? Any probing questions. I just want to hear your general thought about this whole thing. What do you think? Let me hear your general thought of this entire thing. I'd like to know what you think about it. What do you think about it? So Wayne is saying he can't stand it, and Van G saying, "Hey, we're not accountable anymore to a higher being." I mean, once every kid grew up in the church, right? We used to fear God. Or Miss Miracle watching us, our Master John promising to tell our mother. So not only is Van just saying morality has deteriorated, but once you bring in mother, we're talking about parenting also, right? It's kids having kids. Anybody else with any other ideas? Vanji, yes, I take what you're saying. Honestly, yes. I think that's a big part of it. It's kids raising kids. Some of these parents themselves are, I I know cases where their grandparents in their 30s. How no, 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 how can they guide anybody? But I remember the days when it was, hey, you better get in before that street light goes on or before the lamp goes on. Do we still have any of that? Do we still have parents like that? Do we still have parents who can actually exert some control, some level of control over their kids? Do we have that? Or as Van just said, all that is gone out the window. All that is gone out the window. We no longer, yeah, some blame the availability of cable television with no restrictions. That could be a cause of it too, Vanja. That could be a cause of it. No, they're seeing every darn thing on TV, which is being beamed in from the big old United States. And there's nothing we can. In fact, guys, it's like the horse has already gone through the gate. There's very little that we can do at this moment. I hope I'm not coming across too pessimistic, but my gosh, man, it's tough. It is tough. It is tough when we really don't have that control that we used to have. Those moral values are basically gone. But with cable television, and the cable television seems to be taking over because I have friends here who are, hey, didn't you see this? Didn't you see? No, I don't get that channel, but it's available. It's available there in Jamaica. I don't get it. I don't get it here. And I thought I had one of the most comprehensive plans, but no, it's not with my plan at all. But guys, what else can we do? Anybody else out there listening? You want to chime in? What can we do about this level of crime, this unprecedented level? I'm wondering, how do people actually go to bed at night? How do you get a good night's sleep? Hi, and Mr. Powell tuning in from Toronto, Canada, hearing loud and clear. Spent 22 years fighting crime in Jamaica. Yes, Orly, and we thank you for your service with the Jamaica Defense Force, man. Yep, thank you very much. You were with you were outstanding yourself and with some other outstanding members of the force. And you say crime fighting has to be multifaceted. The security forces, government, private sector, judiciary working together. So, Orly, can you sort of explain what you mean? Can you give us a little? I have an idea what you mean. I know what you mean, but could you really break this down for us? Private sector and judiciary, especially. What do you mean by that? What do you mean there? Private sector, judiciary. Can you know, flesh it out for us, as we'd say? Especially that part about the judiciary. Especially that section about the judiciary. What do you really mean? What are you really trying to say? Security forces can't work alone. Yes, I agree with you. And Angela saying too many protecting the criminals. I recall one woman lamenting after her brother was killed that he was only a pickpocket. So why? Oh my God! Oh, we are a unique people. He was only a pickpocket, so he should go on living right while taking from others. Yes, Orleans, the security forces can't work alone. They need intelligence. I mean, they need. I hate using the word informers. Honest to God, I hate using that word. But people have to come clean and talk. If you know what's going on in the community, if you know where that gunman is sleeping every day, so he can come out at night and wreak havoc, isn't it a part of your responsibility as a citizen to alert the security forces? Isn't it a part of your duty as a citizen to get the securities involved? Give them the news. I don't think you're informed. I think you are a good citizen. There has to be the input of all sectors. The laws of Jamaica are too archaic, true. We have too many people sitting in that prison out in Spanish Town. Something, like you said, something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. I saw one of our schoolmates post something about some murderer who was, the man committed cold blooded murder and was given just a few years in prison. Angela saying when I came home with a pencil and my parents said no for me, they would send me right back with it. Yes, you had to be accountable. Reform. Angela, does would reform work in Jamaica? I mean, it works in other countries. I don't even think it works here in the US. People going to prison because these prisons are basically in here, they're treated like animals. They come out even worse than when they went in. And Wayne is saying they have to get back to the death penalty. Wow, I think so too. But with the constant interruption from groups like Amnesty International trying to tell nations how to do and how to administer punishment, that's going to be hard. But I believe, yeah, justice should be meted out and very swiftly. I don't believe in having somebody on death row for 10, 15, 20 years. No, that's bull. I think, hey, the case is over. He's sentenced a couple of months, man. Carried out. I think we spend too much time on party politics and not enough time on what's good for the country itself. Yes, I believe as a nation we have become too partisan. Most of us, it seems like our first allegiance is to the party and not to the nation. In fact, it seems to be a worldwide thing. I don't think Jamaica has the monopoly on this thing about party politics. Even here in the States, you see it where people's first allegiance is to the party. The country comes second. And that to me makes no sense. That to me makes no sense. If you're a patriot, you're a patriot, your country comes first. The welfare of your country should be first and foremost in your mind. But like Wayne says, hey, that death penalty, hey, it sounds cruel. It sounds cruel, but good God, man, if you are gonna be out there taking somebody's life, I don't think you deserve to keep yours. But having somebody on death row for 10, 15 years, no, it's a waste of time. Shouldn't be more than 6 months, if that long. If that long. When you look at, I don't know if any of you saw that video coming out of Spanish Town prison. How do those things get in? How does Hennessy and all these drinks get into? uh, how, how do they get to a prison? How do guys get to be smoking, getting cell phones in a prison? Okay, I hear a call coming in. Let me see. Okay. Hello. Let's see if we can get this caller on. Let's see if we can get this caller on. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Yes, I am here. I am hearing you. Mhm. Go ahead. Calling from Canada. Okay, let me see if I can really fix your voice here. Go ahead. What do you have to say? Hmm. Right. They true. They need that ball. They don't have that balls. Yep. Hmm. 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 Private sector has to get involved. Okay. In what in what way? In what way you'd want the private sector involved? Okay. All right. All right. You need the private sector. All right. Oh, okay. You can't work that way. Okay. All right. Wait. Hold on. it's the caller. They said that. Hold on, Mr. Caller. They said they're not hearing you. They said I am hearing you, but they said they're not hearing you. Mhm. All right. So, all right. No, no. They said they weren't hearing you at all. But thanks for calling, man. Thanks for calling. You wait. Do me a favor. Just use the chat. Put something in the chat because I don't think the call is going through. All right. All right, buddy. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, man. All right. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Guys, seems like that call was a little bit sketchy. Was a call was a little bit sketchy. I may have to go over to Skype. But guys, put your put your number in the text and I'll call you. Yes, when he's saying the criminals have to have something to fear. The criminals need something to fear. And if they don't fear anything, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. It is gonna be tough, guys. Put your number in, guys, and I'll give you a call. I'll try and give you a call instead of you calling. Hi, Gene Martin here, Gene. Yes, Gene. In the chat, Gene, would you mind saying something about the level of crime in Jamaica? What do you think about it? Can it be brought under control? What is causing it? What's the cause of all this wanton murder? What do you think is causing this? Anything from Gene? I've heard from the others. If there's anybody else out there, let me know. And in a little while, we're going to go on to talking about Barbados. We're going to go on to talking about Barbados. But what the caller was saying is that, hey, things need to be done, especially with the private sector. Especially the private sector has to play a part in this because they are going to suffer too. And Vangela is saying, I don't think they fear anything. Death penalty don't deter them. Them say, man born for dead. Yes. Hey, another thing. What about our music? What about our music, guys? Do you think our music plays a part in this? Do you think our music plays a part in this? Does the music have anything to do with this? Orly, is that 647? Is that a 7 or a 1? Does the music have anything to do with this, guys? Okay, Jeannie saying scamming, poor parental guidance too. Yep. You want to elaborate, Jean? Would you care to elaborate? Jean, would you care to elaborate? Scamming, poor parental guidance. Come on, Jean, let's hear what you say. Already that looks like a 1 to me. I hope I'm right. I hope I am right. That looks like a 1 to me, Orly. So let's see. Let's see if Skype will come over. I'm gonna call you on Skype and let's see if that will come over in a better way. The lyrics do influence behavior. They need more regulation. Remember those not fit for yeah. Some of those songs are, oh my god, I've heard some, man, and they're terrible. They are terrible. They are terrible. I don't know how people I don't get it. I don't how mm-mm. Makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. So let me try this and see if this will be a better one. I'm hoping this will go through. Orly received. Yeah, Orly, I don't know what. Can you hear me? What about this? Is this any better? I I can't figure out what's wrong with it because I tested this evening, everything was fine. Don't know why it's coming out like this tonight. Why it's coming out like this tonight? All right, okay, all right. Thanks a lot, bro. Thank you, bro. And thanks for logging on, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Trust me, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, man. Okay. Okay. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. Mhm. The private sector is a big help to our government. Yes, Gene. But how can they really help the the security forces and keeping down crime? They pour millions into programs. Are those millions being used in the proper way, or are they being wasted? What do you think, Gene? You are there. You have a better insight than most of us. You have a better insight than most of us. And here's my question to a lot of you. It may infuriate, upset some people. Do you think the church is still relevant? Do you guys think the church is still relevant, guys? In fighting crime, in helping to bring our country back, what do you see the role of the church to be? What do you think the role of the church should be? Anybody wants to take a stab at that? Yeah, Orly, you can put this in the text, Orly. Okay. They have become too much of a money maker. Okay. Hmm. All right. Who is that? Who is that, Vanji? The government? You talking about the government here? You're talking about the government? Hmm. The church has helped, especially in inner city communities. But when it comes to the church helping early, do you think the church can only go after the youngsters, the kids? Because the adults, if you are from say 18 up, it's isn't it hard to turn back a youngster like that? Somebody who is in adulthood, whose mind is already made up. Do you think the church can actually reach somebody like that? Do you think the church can actually reach somebody, or the church has to deal with the youngsters, the little kids? Because I think those older guys are already, the horse already gone through the gate. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, but every inner city community has several churches, but you're gonna find mainly women in these churches. How do we get the guys to buy in? How do we get the men to buy in, guys? Because they're the ones who are committing most of the crime. They're the ones we really need. Okay. Okay. So Arlie and Jean, yeah, you have inner workings of it. Hi, Lorraine. How are you? And Lorraine is saying they need to forge partnerships, church, police, government. Okay, good. That would be great. The church is a business as well. Different times they have programs too, but few few people are going to take up the offers. Mhm. Back in our day, the only two things around was church and school. Now, I believe there are so many other distractions, so many things to keep a kid busy or to hold a kid's interest that church and school are at the bottom of the list. Church and school are at the bottom of that list, guys. But hey, nowadays it was either church or school. School for 5 days and church on Sunday. You had nothing else. But today, it's not like that, guys. It's not like that. And I ask myself, is it that we are now old and we have gone past it? We just can't keep up with the times? Is that it, guys? Is that it? Another question. With the police force, do you think they should be given free reign to go after these criminals? Do you think of the police force or the army should be given free reign to go in and clean up a community instead of their hands being tied by the MP for that area? Because I've heard of cases where MPs have basically said, no, no security force in here because he has his guys and he's done to protect. And Orly, you were closer to it. Yes, why not? Yeah, wait. Use the soldiers instead. Okay. I don't know how Orly thinks of that, him being a member of the former member of the Defense Force, to have the soldiers come out and give them a higher level of responsibility than the cops. I don't know how that would work. Those partnerships have been tried, but parents are mentally too young. Yes, you have grandparents in their 30s. They want to party like they want to party like the children. Some of them will even party more than the kids. Some of them will party more than the kids. But like Van just said, you have a kid who comes home with something that doesn't belong to them. And look at these parents will help the kids hide it and encourage a kid. Like Van just said, if she came home with a pencil that wasn't hers, it was hell. And already saying, I have been chastised because of this. Soldiers can only work with police. The police are the law. True. Well said, sir. Well said. The police are the law. But are we doing any programs? Are we doing any programs in the community where we get intelligence from citizens? If you want to call them informer, fine, informer. But are we doing any? Do you find our security forces doing anything like that? Getting good information coming from inside, or are people too scared? Are are the people are the people too vested in what the criminals do because they're benefiting from it too? What do you think? What do you guys think? How does this pan out? And for example, I, rem- I remember, well, I left Jamaica a long time ago, but the rural areas were like peaceful heaven. Westmoreland, where my mom was from, one of the nicest parishes ever. And now it's one of the most crime-ridden parishes. The hills above Montego Bay. I hear it's hell up there. Why have they moved to these rural areas? Okay, and Van just saying sometimes the police themselves reveal their source, so people are scared. Yo, come on, that's stupid. These people, these sources should be confidential. you know, no, you can't. As a cop, you can't. You shouldn't. And I don't think all the cops should know who the sources are. Yes, or listening information and intelligence gathering is done. But mere in mind, criminals are also. Ah, that's true. I'm reading with interest every day this thing about the Klansman trial and the JDF soldier who was the Don's personal bodyguard. that, only in Jamaica this thing could happen. The, a JDF soldier was the Don's personal bodyguard. Good God. Can you imagine that? But shouldn't the security forces also be keeping tabs on their own officers to know who is on the take and who is not? But looking at that thing in Spanish Town prison, I wonder, how do these things get in there? How do these things get past security? Hennessy and all these drinks, cigarettes, how do they get in? Scamming here. They haven't moved to the country area. The criminals are from. Okay, so you're telling me that Kingston is no longer the breeding ground of these criminals? And true Gene, money talks, BS walks. Money, and everybody's hand is out there. Everybody's on the take. Everybody is on the take. Why? I'm wondering, is it like, I wonder if this is the way other Caribbean countries or third world countries are. Oh, we always seem to have our hands out and always say, yeah, we do keep tabs on our own security force members. Yeah, we need to know what these guys are doing. Who is taking a bribe? Who is tipping off this criminal? Because I believe that when the force is going out, when soldiers or cops are going out, maybe only the commanding officer should know at the outset where they're going, what move they're going on, what mission they're going on. And I don't know if it was you, Arlie, who posted a picture on Facebook once where these JDF soldiers are on patrol or something like that, and their heads are all down in the cell phone. Their heads are down on that cell phone. Anything could be going around them, and they would have no idea. They would just focus on that cell phone, which when they're on patrol, I don't think they should have. I don't think they should have that in their possession. And Vanjie saying, once my neighbor was pulled over, and the only thing he had he had was his his children. Yeah, everybody's on the take. I remember before I left Jamaica, it was cops stop you and him want to know what you can do for him. What can you do for him? His hand is out wanting a bribe. And Gene, since you're on spot there, do you think the security forces are paid enough? Do you think they are properly paid? Do you think they're properly compensated? For example, we have that problem in the field of education where teachers are not properly remunerated. Is it the same with the cops? Is this why a cop will have to go take a bribe? Yes, Gene, wait to hear from you on that one. What do you think? What do you think? Should they be given some more take home pay to keep them, no, so that they can keep their nose clean? The picture of the soldiers were taken by citizens and circulated worldwide. Yes, it was. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. These guys are on patrol and they're on the phone texting and they could have lost their lives. But the phone came first. And Orly, do you think they should have phones while out there on duty? Do you do you think they should have a phone with them? Because hey, don't they have their two-way radio? We simply cannot police ourselves anymore. The police is from the same community as the criminals, and being fearful for their parents, they will hurt the criminals. That's a good point, Gene. That's a good point. That is a good point. So are you telling me then that we're gonna have to look at where this cop is from and decide where we're gonna move him to some other part of the island? A cop being from, say, somewhere in one of those, let's say Harborview, but he has to be stationed in Hanover. Yeah, Vanji, I knew that. But you never had only the children lunch and the cop took it. Jesus. How low can you go? How low can you go? Correction officers are getting paid to take these things in for the prisoners. 5,000 for a cell phone. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, in fact, it, it happens all over the world where officers are being officers are being bribed and you're saying not enough pay. I was reading where one prison, I don't remember which country it was in, but they had such a problem of contraband cell phones going in that they had to install some microwave network where you had cell phone jammers, where it jammed every it jammed every cell phone within say 500 meters, and that was how they had to cut it down. That what they did to cut it down. But I'm wondering, are these prisons allowed a lot of visitors? Because I don't see how these things get in the jail. Not just from correction officers, but there must be visitors coming in carrying all sort of crap. True, Gene, they don't know where the cop or security guard live, so we have to go station them somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? During my times, phones were left at the base before we went on patrol. I've locked up a soldier who was found on his personal cell phone during a raid. Yeah, he doesn't need a raid. You have a radio with you. That's all you need. That's all you need to communicate. You shouldn't be carrying a phone with you because as a security, as a commanding officer, I don't know whether you're tipping off somebody else. I don't know whether you're tipping off somebody else. Yes, I know. I don't know what you guys call it. Court martial. Yeah, some should be court martial for that. Court martial for that. If you don't get if you don't get visit, they say you're a waste man. So I'm wondering if in Jamaican prisons, what you have conjugal visits, you have girlfriends coming in or what? I saw that happening in some prison in where Scandinavia, I think it was Sweden or Denmark, something like that. But yeah, wives and girlfriends come in. So if you don't get a visitor, you're a waste man, right? Oh my God, what does my country come to? What is Jamaica coming to? But guys, do you think that the level of crime scares away visitors and even returning residents? What do you think? Do you think if somebody wants to come home, he or she will come regardless of the crime or not? Or do you think he'll think twice? And I was just searching on YouTube the other day and I saw something with, I don't know if you remember this guy who committed suicide. You remember this guy who had this show on TV, Anthony Bourdain? There was a thing where he had visited Jamaica and he was hanging out with Prime Minister at the time, PJ Patterson. And then he was saying, hey, how Jamaica was nice. Well, a couple months after that, he put out another video saying Jamaica was like one of the worst places he'd been to. And all that stuff about Jamaica, no problem, and one love was a load of BS, and Jamaicans would cut your throat. Yes, that video is out there. Anthony Bourdain. Yes, Vanji, some people will take the chance. And Lorraine is saying, yes, some people are very scared. Some people are scared. I don't know, but everybody seems to be coming in on Facebook. I don't see one YouTube person yet. I'm wondering if the broadcast is hitting YouTube channel. I'm hoping it is. And all he's saying, no matter how much you pay certain members of the security forces, they will still want more because of greed. Yes, some people are just naturally greedy. Some people are just naturally greedy. Now, guys, let's shift gears a bit. Let's shift gears a bit. And the other big news this past week, Barbados. Barbados throwing off the Queen. Okay, Evangelist saying she couldn't pick it up on YouTube. And Jeannie saying it's gotten so bad that I don't know how we can get back to some normalcy. Commitment and conscience will have to play a major part in reconstructing the force. Yes, Jean, I think if it will be hard to find a clean officer now. It's hard. Everybody's on the take. You have to let off something. I was watching a video where a motorist was filming something, and I, I can't remember what it was saying, but the officer was saying that it it wasn't a good day for him, and he the driver could make his day by he didn't say he wanted a bribe, but he was hoping that the driver would make his day better. Yes, I'm wondering why the stream is not coming through on YouTube, but Facebook will go with you. Yes, let's shift gears a bit. Let's ease off the crime a bit. The other big thing in news this week was Barbados. Barbados cutting that umbilical cord from England. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? My thoughts are that, hey, we should have done that long ago. Jamaica should have done that. We should have taken the lead on that. How can we let little Barbados jump the line and get ahead of us? Barbados always seems to be moving one or two steps. I remember some years ago when little Barbados, that's not even as big as St. Mary, wanted to go on their own for Test cricket. They wanted to leave the West Indies. But guys, how do you feel as a Jamaican having Barbados beat us to the punch? Will we ever land the punch? Do we want to do that? Is there a will in the government to, break away, become a republic, tell the Queen to take a hike? Yes, it's time. What is it? That, yeah, what's the benefit of the monarchy to the Caribbean? Nothing really, except Harry came to visit, Prince Charles visits once in a while. But I don't see how we benefit from it. I don't see. But I remember in high school when Michael Manley said when he puts his hand at the opening of Parliament, when he puts his hand on the Bible and pledges allegiance to the Queen, he can't mean it. He doesn't mean it. Why didn't we break from then? What holds us back? Because like I said earlier at the start, I don't think most people got it because of the whole system going down. Like I said at the start, guys, every election, every single election, the parties trot this out there in front of us like a carrot. Yeah, we're gonna become a republic, we're gonna go on our own. And as soon as the election is done, that's all forgotten. What are we waiting on? People are saying we need a referendum. Hey, in the general election, just put it on the ballot also. We are breaking. We are breaking that tie we have with England. It makes no sense. Evangelist is saying it's like moving out of your parents' home and they're still in your business. Even when you go. And Jeannie saying we need to, but we are not literate or disciplined enough. Barbados by the British, but they don't need visas, but we do. Yeah, Barbados was once called what? Little England. And if they who were called Little England can decide to break, yeah. And it's true, Gene. When it comes to discipline, they are way ahead of us. And I wonder, is it because they're such a small place? Because I look at most of these small islands, and that's one of the things you see. The discipline is sometimes still there. Barbados, Cayman, Virgin Islands, some of these are other little islands, yeah, they are more disciplined than we are. But I think it's time we do this. It can be put on any ballot. Some people are saying, "Oh, we need a 2/3." Hey, some governments have won with bigger majority than that, and they have done nothing. And they have done nothing. And I'm not a political person, but I think even this government is dragging its feet on it, and they're gonna keep on dragging the feet on it unless we as a people push. I mean, if we break, there's not much benefit, but at least we can say, hey, we're on our own. We're big people. We push our own key. Yes, and Judy saying, yeah, they're about the size of St. Andrew. It's not a big place. And we need to make sure there are systems in place before we do so. That is true. That is so true, Vanji, because I believe that when when we got independence, 62, I don't think there were systems in place that allowed for that smooth transition. Yes, they said, hey, go choose your own government, but did we have people qualified? I would like to see us start, like Vanji said, start putting things in place for that transition so that in a year or so we can make that move. Yeah, but Barbados did it already. They had thrown off the Privy Council and went to the Caribbean Council. Why can't we? It, I don't know. It irritates me to know that hey, here we are from 1655 under the British rule to 1962, and then we still have Queen Elizabeth as a sovereign. Why? Who do we benefit from that? Can we in the diaspora begin lobbying for it? Oh, that's another problem. It's another problem, Vanji, because I don't somehow I get the feeling that there are two sets of Jamaicans. Jamaicans in Jamaica and Jamaicans overseas. And the twain can never really meet because somehow the people in Jamaica think we are not a part of them, and we over here think that hey, we have nothing to do with them. I wish we would all come together for that common goal. But then, what's the benefit of really being under Britain? And if we break, what do we lose? I wish we could get a historian or a politician in there, somebody who understands the politics of this thing to explain it. What do we gain by staying? What do we lose by leaving? We're not benefiting by anything except to fly through there to go to Europe. To go to Europe. Yeah, and what do we lose if we decide to cut that cord? What are we gonna lose? What are we going to lose? And wait, we would we would still be able to take part in the Commonwealth Games, right? I haven't researched that. I wish I could find that out. And yet we are the ones sending money every day. So yes, the remittances help out a lot of Jamaicans. But I think we should have a big say in this thing. We should have a big say in it as to whether we stay tied to England or not. Yeah, we may get a few scholarships. That's where the Rhodes Scholarship is from, right? Named after one of the biggest racists ever. I think reparations should be part of the deal. We would have to get that before we leave, shouldn't we? Wouldn't we? And honestly, Vanji, I don't think we're ever gonna get that. I don't think we're ever gonna get that. Reparations, no. Jamaicans should have taken the lead in cutting ties with the monarchy. I think so early. We should have been front and center. Congrats to Barbados. We are more talk than action. This lack of will is evident in Jamaica's economics and social reform. The interest of our leadership in solving crime, as previously discussed, judicial reform, and even acknowledging our own achievers such as Bob. You ever coming to that too? Bob, Louise Bennett. Yeah, we coming to that too. Lack of will is going to be not going to be. It is our Achilles heel. Yes, guys, and with this Barbados Republic thing, they made Rihanna a national hero or heroine, whichever one they call it. I don't like using the word heroine. Reminds me of the drug. But Rihanna got her place in the sun. Granted, hey, love her. Great artist, great entrepreneur, and I understand that she does great philanthropic work. When is Louise Bennett gonna get her due? Or for that matter, Bob Marley? What What do you guys say to that? Do you think Bob or Louis Bennett should get that title, national hero? What do you think? What do you think? Granted, guys, granted, Bob was not, famous for his philanthropy. Maybe he didn't get to that stage yet. Maybe he didn't get to that financial independence stage like Rihanna has gotten to. And maybe he would have done it later. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Vanji, why should Miss Lou get it? Come, Vanji, make your case. Why should Miss Lou get it? Why should we look at Miss Lou as a national hero? Okay, you say Bob helped bring the country to the rest of the world. Stick up in there, Vanji. As big as Bob is, and much as most Jamaicans love Bob, most Jamaicans didn't pay any attention to Bob until after he died. What do you think about that? Most Jamaicans never looked at Bob until after the man was dead. Miss Lou taught us the importance of embracing our language and our culture. That is true. Because I remember the days when Pato was looked down on as, you were from the gutter. You were from the gutter. Miss Lou made that an everyday thing. Miss Lou made that an everyday thing. Yes, Bob exposed the name of Jamaica. But listen, there are a lot of us, a lot of Jamaicans who paid no mind to Bob until after the man died. Once he died, everybody, oh yeah, it's the great Bob Marley, the great Bob Marley. But yeah, somebody else. Can you make the case? Bob, Miss Lou, anybody else you can think of? Anybody else you can think of? Come on, guys. Jamaicans don't buy the rest. Didn't, but the rest of the world was seeing what we were not. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Jamaicans, a lot of us didn't look at the man. While in places like Germany, they were going crazy over this man. They were, yes, Banji, we can make. You're on the track. You're gonna be a national hero one day. Trust me. No, not national, international. International. But is there any other Jamaican should we should put up there on that pedestal? It's gonna be a tough sell for either of them because you can't put one without the other. I believe if Bob gets enshrined like that, Miss Lou will have to. Miss Lou will have to. Anybody from the sports arena? Anybody from the sports arena? We need to first establish what the criteria is for being a hero. Yes, yes, we need a certain criteria, but we're gonna have problems here because oh my gosh, it's gonna be problematic for like somebody who's still living and then somebody who has already passed. It, oh my god, it's gotta be tricky. It's gotta be tricky. Is it just popularity or what you have really done for the country? Is it just popularity? because it would be bad if it was just a popularity contest. It would be really bad if it was just a popularity contest. But yeah, many people are saying, "Hey, it's time that we put Bob up there." I don't think there's room for any other politicians up there. We have Bustamante, these guys now and Manley. I don't think there's room for others because we have become so partisan that if we put one, we're gonna have to put the other. If we put Michael, half the country is gonna say Eddie has to go up there. So I think we should leave the politicians out of this thing for now. I think we need to leave the politicians out of it. But who else? Who else? What do you guys think about the Bajan Prime Minister? What do you guys think about her? Oh my God, I'm in awe of this woman. This woman tells it like it is. What do you guys think about her? She reminds me so much of Michael Mandy. What do you guys think? Let me hear what you guys think, guys. That Prime Minister is the bomb. Or President, whatever. That's her title. No, okay. But I love her. I love her. That woman speaks plainly. She tells it like it is. Let the chips fall where they may. And what do you think about what Faye Ellington said about Rihanna's dress? That it was inappropriate for the occasion. What do you guys think? And Orly, yeah, Mia Motley is my hero. She's awesome, both nationally and internationally. Yes, that woman is a leader. I like her. I love not like I love her. She seems to have what most male leaders don't have. She's not pandering or looking friends. She's not, and I like that about her. But what do you think about Faye Ellington's remarks that Rihanna wasn't properly attired for the occasion, guys? What do you think? Fashionistas like Jean, what do you think about that? Was Rihanna dressed properly? Could she have been more modest? I'm not saying what I think about the dress. I mean, I ain't saying nothing. I'm just asking for a friend. I agree with her, but we belong to another era, and this is why now we are old fogies now. Speak for yourself, Angie. speak for you, speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. But guys, Barbados did it. Who do you think is the next country that's gonna do it? Because I hear Saint Lucia is being pushed to do this. The Saint Lucians are saying that they are gonna be next to break away. And I believe Jamaica has really abdicated its position as leader. Trinidad, okay. I believe Jamaica has, we have basically allowed them to step in front of us. We have basically allowed other groups to step in front of us. It's like you're on the lunch line at school and you give somebody a cut. No, this, oh my gosh, man. People looked up to us as leaders. Listen, the two big islands in the Caribbean, Jamaica, Trinidad. Remember Federation? Yeah, we broke away from it first. Remember the famous statement? One from 10? Zero. One from 10 or zero. Once Jamaica backed away. And I could understand the politics of that whole federation thing. Jamaica and Trinidad had about 85% of the wealth and population, and we would have to had carried everybody else. Yes, he said one from 10 is not. So once Jamaica broke away, that was the end. Yeah, and I, I don't know how federation would have worked, seeing that the islands were so spread out. It's not like the European Union where you have contiguous countries. They're touching on each other. Jamaica is way over there in the west, Trinidad way in the east, Barbados way up at Chocolate. It was tough. I got in trouble for commenting about this. My thing is that Rihanna has to be reminded about time and place. I love her, but modesty is needed for a formal occasion. Go on, Mr. Harley. All right, sir. And honestly, while the Sherman was going on, I didn't even see. I didn't even really look at the dress. I went back and watched the video, replying to Orly. That's part of the problem in society now. Anything goes. Anything goes. Plus, if you have the money, anything goes, right? Like somebody said earlier, money talks, BS walks, BS walks, man, BS walks. But guys, this whole thing, I believe and I have heard that Saint Lucia is about to pull the trigger on this thing. But can you imagine if they jump in front of Jamaica again? We were once leaders, weren't we? Once in charge of the Cayman Islands. Yes, I remember. We were once in charge of Grand Cayman, and now we are. Oh my God, we are. Oh, I won't even say. It. I won't even say it. But guys, I want to thank you all for logging on. I want to thank you all for coming on and having this little discussion. And I enjoy. I enjoy little things like this. I really enjoyed going back and forth and hearing other people's ideas. I like listening, and I, I don't know what went wrong with the phone this evening because we tested yesterday. Everything worked okay. I'll have to go back again and see what we can do here to make this better. Yes, all right. Even at funerals, I notice that anything goes these days. There's not even respect for. That is so true. I've seen some, I've seen some videos on funerals where, oh my God, if the dead, sometimes I expect the dead person to get up and box somebody. But as a country, we have the standards. The standards have, and there are things I'd like to say, but I don't want to offend anybody. For example, when did we become such a nation of beggars? When did we become such a nation of beggars? God, you visit there and everybody has their hand out. Even people who are dressed better than you are. People driving stuff better than you drive, but they have their hand out. The hand is out. Let off this, let off that. Buy me a food. When did we when did we get to that? And there seems to be no change on the horizon. It seems that it's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse. I hear Jamaicans telling family who are coming home to visit them not to bring anything from stores like Ross or Burlington. They want upper class things. They want top notch things, top shelf. When when did we adopt? When did we adopt this mentality? And they're telling you what they want. They're asking you for money and they're telling you how much they want. And you better give them that or they're going to treat you. Why? I can't believe we have come down to this. And I'd love to find out from people from other islands if this is this a norm? Is this the norm? But like Orly said, man, funerals are almost like dance hall now. We became a nation of beggars when we lost our role models. The Don is the new role model, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Remember when you used to have to draw our shoe size and, and papers? Oh my God! Yeah, my I remember those days. Don't do that, though. Mm-mm. People want Nike. People want Reebok, Adidas, and no Clarks. I was shocked when this prime minister started this thing about Clarks. Instead of having people think about morals and proper values, you have people idolizing Clark shoes. Come on, man. We should be bigger and better than this. Bigger and better. I think we as a nation, we should have been much farther ahead. Yes, Drew Banji, when you send the shoes, you took what you got. Sometimes the shoes came, your foot had grown a size or two. Not only that, I know I know of a friend who got two left two left with the shoes. I have a friend who got two left with the shoes once. But that not happen nowadays. Them send you to the website and say, this is what I want. And don't bother bring the knockoffs. Because they know what they want. Even people ask you, people, I remember people asking me for, hey, I need a phone. What type of phone you want? I don't want a Motorola. It's either a Samsung or an Apple phone. And the version they want is poor me not even have one of that. I don't even have that, and that's what they want. And they even will tell you where you can go buy it. How much, what is it, how much gigabyte it should have on storage. Yeah, crap like that. But I believe some of us abroad have caused this. Some of us have perpetuated the myth that over here money grows on trees. Because when we go down, as I say now, you go floss, you show off, make sure you have this big rent a car. No, man, come on. We as a nation should be better than that. We should be better than that. And guys, it's over an hour and 10 minutes for those who just came on. Thank you for coming. Thanks for being here. And I wish you all a good night. Thank you, guys. So Gene, Orally, Vanjie, Wayne, everybody who logged in tonight, and those who are listening quietly, as we say, lurking, thanks for being here, guys. But I promise you, I'm not going to stop working until I can fix this audio, until I can accept the call, because it can be done because I had it working, tried it with my son, my daughter in Pittsburgh, and everything worked fine. I'm wondering what happens when it starts streaming. And Vangela, thank you. And I'll join you on Thursday, Vangie, on your radio program on Optima Gold, 5 o'clock, optimagold.com, Perspectives. Orly, thanks a lot, man. How you on the weather up there, my brother? What's the snow like? And I know it's biting there in New York. How much snow you got, Orly? Because I don't know why the heck you go live up in Canada. No, I ain't going up there. Too much snow. Too much snow. And Wayne, I should be in Brooklyn for a little while sometime next month. But if it's too cold, I ain't leaving Florida. I'm not leaving Florida. I left New York years ago because it was too cold. -1 degree. What? You idiot. I mean, I don't I mean, I don't have a temperature. You mad? Listen, Arlie, the only time I want to feel cold is when I open my fridge. Otherwise, you can keep them weather there. I don't deal with that. No, -1 degree. Mm-mm, mm-mm. 0 degree is supposed to be the max, the coolest anywhere will ever be. But minus, no. Mm-mm. Like they said on in Living Color, homie don't play that. Homie don't play that. But I hope your winter is devoid of snow. I know the temperature is going to be dropping, but I hope you don't get a lot of snow. But Jane, all you guys, thank you guys. Have a great night. Have a great night. Have a great night. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care. Out. Rock the mic.